Good afternoon. It is October 21st, 2021, and here's what we were looking at for today. This is how I saw it. We got these, hold on, I'm trying to get these crosshairs off the screen. We got the overnight highs in yellow and overnight lows. We never came down to test these overnight lows. But really we just had two legs up. That's how I saw it anyway. We got this leg up, a break, and then this little spike in channel. And originally I had this channel drawn with the level of resistance down here, but you can see if you draw a measured move down, it looks like we got a bounce there, and then we just shot right up. So I do think that this was a little this was valid, and I think this target was just that we're hitting right now is just the overnight, or not the overnight, the measured move from the overnight range. So let's take a look. It shouldn't take too long because there weren't a lot of trades today. But we'll go through these and we'll go through the ones I took. So if you draw this channel off of these two lows, these two swings, we form this channel, and it's hard to see if this is accurate at this point. But you do get this new low, and you get a first failed second entry. Now this is definitely aggressive, but at the time it looked like it was off of close to a short-term trend channel line. So, and that did appear to be accurate because we get the bounce here and a break. But that's definitely aggressive. It's off the midline, but it's a little bit away from the EMA. But if you're patient, we get a first, second entry. This is also aggressive just because look at that signal bar. It's a doji, but it's clear that that is two legs back, or at least it looks that way to me. One leg, two legs. And yeah, like I said, not a good signal bar. I do also like that it bounced off the midline of these overnights, highs and lows. And then we get a new high, and unfortunately we don't get a good setup to go long here because these aren't new lows. And this higher low doesn't give you a good signal bar. But we get this this leg up, and you get a first failed second entry all the way up here, but that's going into the highs, and it doesn't tick higher anyway, so you shouldn't be going long above that anyway. And then you get a first entry, second entry, but again, no signal bar. So unfortunately, you couldn't get in this, really. Let's take a look. First, failed second entry. I don't think you would want to take that because you're going into the highs. And this is starting to look a bit congestive. So I don't think you can go long there on that failure. And this stuff is too far from the EMA. And then it looks like we might be reversing to the downside, maybe to test these overnight lows. And originally you would have a steeper channel than this one, and that actually probably works as well. So let's take a look at that one. You get the break, one leg, two legs down before it reverses, so that's probably it. But the way I had it drawn looked pretty good too. But anyway, you get a first failed second entry here, and you got a lot of people probably thinking that you're going to be able to ride that all the way down to the overnight lows, but we didn't. We came down here, we bounced off the overnight midline. We make this new low. You get a first entry, failed second entry short right here, and I think that's a great setup. It's off the short-term trend line for at least a scalp. So that's a good entry, and then if you miss that, you get a first entry, second entry long that you definitely could have taken there. And we slowly start trending up. It looked like it could be a range, but it ended up being this trend up, this channel up. And you get a first entry, second entry, huge bullish signal bar, go long above that. If you miss that, you get a first failed second entry short. This one's a little bit more aggressive because we're going into this swing high. But this is the one you probably would have gotten stopped out on your runner here, but here, because it took so long to fill your first target, your runner would have giving you probably 6 or 8 points. And I don't think this is too congestive up here, and it looked like we hit our measured move. I probably would have taken profits right here. But some people, I'm sure, were thinking to ride it up to this measured move. So really depends on your taste and your style. But let's take a look at the moves I made. And I've just been really too aggressive with these runners lately. So I want to hold back on that. What is this? So you get a first, second entry short right here. So that's what I was looking at. It's off the midline as well. And I was expecting another attempt to test this low. And that is definitely good enough for a scalp. And then here, this was just terrible behavior. I entered again, thinking we might be able to go down some more. That's just bad behavior. And I took my 2 scalps at break even, and then I put the runner, the stop, 2 points back, and that ended up getting stopped out. For some reason, I thought that would bring me to break even, but that brings you to down $100. So that was a poor decision. Here we get this failed second entry short. I like this, but it's aggressive. I don't really think you should be taking. It's hard to say because this does not look like congestion. But then if you look at this, it does look like congestion. So this is definitely risky. But this second entry long is a little less aggressive. It bounces off the midline. Signal bar is no good, but it's definitely a second entry long. So I think that's safe enough. This is just a terrible entry. First failed second entry. I went on the engulfing bar. I can't express how much money you'll save if you don't go long or short on engulfing bars. You really need to avoid them. And look how far I am from the EMA anyway. So just not the greatest entry. And then there really just wasn't a lot of entries after that. First failed second entry, I like this trade a lot. Second entry long, I like that trade a lot. And what's this? Second entry long, I like that trade a lot for sure. And so yeah, those are the entries I took today. Hope everyone had a great day, and I will be back tomorrow.